some money. So allow me to just go to the topic of today. I don't want to talk a lot about myself because I have already been introduced and you have been seeing my screen before the session started. But these are some of the companies that we have been able to work with here in Kenya in terms of training and learning and development and digital marketing. Nation Media is one of our latest clients, and many others that you can see on the screen, including Marketing Society of Kenya and the Public Relations Society of Kenya. So I'll start this conversation by telling you of a story of a founder. I'm calling him Caleb. That's not his name because I'm keeping the confidentiality. He retired from employment. He was working as in one of the top consumer brands, FMGs. He was 55 years, and I met him in 2015. So after he retired, he founded a company. I don't want even to mention the company. And he was selling yogurt. And the yogurt he was selling was very high premium and high quality. So he invested a lot in sales and marketing. But there is something that I learned about his business, which is something I would also want us to learn together. He had a lot of some money that he had saved, and he had a facility from a bank. So he invested heavily in product development, in building the factory, and there was a strategy. A lot of things were in place, but something went wrong, and I really want us to learn what went wrong. So what did I learn from him? So the truth is, he had gotten the product right. The product was a premium yogurt. It had even aloe vera in it, at a high end, all the ingredients you can imagine of when you're selling a premium product. So the product was not the issue. The price was also very fair. But there was a challenge in his business. And the challenge was, despite us doing online marketing, having a website, creating a social media account, creating different types of content and media and sharing them online, the challenge was the product was not available in the market where customers normally go to make a purchase. And that really affected his business. It really affected his ability to even repay the loan that he had borrowed from the bank. And it actually depleted all the savings that he had, because 2 years later, he was not able to get a lot of traction, because when it comes to products like yogurt, the products that are always consumed by the public, they normally, customers will look at their nearest shop, where you normally go to your supermarket to buy the product. That's where you will be looking. You may have heard about it online, you may have heard about it from a friend, but if you want to buy the product, ideally you will go to your nearest shop, your nearest supermarket, and when you cannot find it, it becomes a problem for the business owner. So the lesson I learned from this business, despite the heavy investment in the factory and in the product and in developing a marketing strategy, the lesson that I learned, and which I want you to also learn today, is that no matter how much you invest in sales and marketing, even product development, if customers cannot find your product when they need it in their nearest shop, you will lose money. You will have a lot of challenges. So marketing is not just talking about making the product known or giving a product a price or developing a marketing plan or a marketing strategy. Marketing also has a concept called distribution. Distribution is about, how do I ensure my product reaches the customer? They may find it on Facebook, they may find it on the website, they may read an article about the health benefits of the yogurt you're selling. But if they cannot find it where they normally buy, it becomes a big challenge. It will affect your sales performance. And that is the biggest lesson that I learned from this client that I met in 2015. That's a lesson also I want us to think about and ask ourselves, what are you selling? And how are you ensuring the customer is able to access the product when they need it? Even if you're selling services, let's say you're providing a service, you're a consultant. The truth is, there must be a way that you deliver the product to the customer. Is it physical? Is it online? Will it be delivered if it is a product? Like I have a product today that I am enjoying here as I share the class today. It's called ginger lemon honey. I found it by Peptan. I like it a lot. It's an energy booster, but also it has some honey, it has some ginger. You know, we learned a lot from COVID, so you have to take healthy drinks. But the point is, whichever product you're selling, as much as you put focus on promoting it online and different types of media, ensure the product is accessible and available when the customer needs it. So that's the first lesson. But before we go very far today, I'd like to tell you that I am offering something. I'm offering a free consultation with any one of us here. Of course, not Diamond Trust Bank or DTB or Kenya Bankers, because they're the ones who have facilitated this event. It is you who has come to join us here to learn. I'm offering one of us out of almost 477 people who have joined us today. I'm offering a free consultation. Consultation with me normally go for 10,000 shillings, but I'm offering it for free. If you will pay attention and if you will answer a question, there will be a question that I will ask. So if you get it right, no matter where you are, whether you're in Mombasa, whether you're in Nairobi, or wherever part of Kenya will be, I'll be able to offer that service to you once you respond to the question that I will ask at the end of today's presentation. So be ready with a pen and a paper, because there will be some questions and there will be some exercises that we'll be working together. And even to start with, here is the question. Identify 2 problems on this post that has been created by a lady called Hannah. I got it on Twitter. I want you to identify the problem that she has, at least 2 problems that she has, based on the question that she has put here, and make a recommendation. I want you to write it somewhere, because I'll give you an opportunity to give me the answer at the end of the presentation. So Hannah, she calls herself the baker. She bakes cake, as you can see here on the photo. So Hannah put this question. It's just in public, so that's why I'm not hiding her identity, because it was a public thing. So she said, I need help. I've run a paid ad. For those of us who are asking what's an ad is just an advertisement on Instagram, and paid around 2,000 shillings for it. The ad has run for 4 days and it's only brought me 1 sale and 2 inquiries. So she has been able to sell only 1 sale and has gotten 2 inquiries. So what is the problem? So she's asking, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? The question was posted on April 28th this year. So that's the question, that's the exercise that I want you to think through. And as I teach today, you will find I'll be answering this question. So you really need to pay attention for you to get the answer for Hannah. And we will have a time at the very tail end of the presentation to see the kind of feedback that you will give Hannah. So she has a problem, and she's a small business owner, just like any one of us. So as we start, I would want to bring something that is very, very important. I wish I knew this when I was a young entrepreneur, when I was starting my entrepreneurship journey. There is something called the Pareto principle. And the Pareto principle actually was coined because of a person in Italy, an economist actually. His name is Vilfredo Pareto, and it's a very old principle, and it has been used in many, many ways, even in finance and investment and in business. So Pareto discovered something while he was in Italy. He noted that 20% of the people in Italy owned 80% of the land in the country. So 20% of the people in Italy owned 80% of the land. So that really intrigued him a lot because he was an economist and he wanted to investigate further. So he went and did more research and he got obsessed by this concept. How come that 20% of people can have 80% ownership of land in the country? So he also observed that 80% of the peas in his garden came from 20% of the peas plants. So he really learned a lot from this idea that it turns out there's a relationship, 80-20 or 20-80, and that rule in the world of business and even in marketing, we call it the Pareto principle. And as I teach today about how to sell online and how to use digital platforms to sell online, I want to ask yourself, have you identified your Pareto principle? This guy, Wilfredo, identified the Pareto principle and he came up with it and it was coined after him. Because it turns out, did you know that 80% of the sales in your business could be coming from 20% of the clients? Have you ever analyzed the number of clients that you have? And ask yourself, by the way, out of all these clients, 100 of them, what is the value of each of these clients? And you will realize there is something, there is a trend in the numbers. You could be shocked. Even in software development, they say 80% of the errors in software development is caused by 20% of some piece of code, and this is a concept that is true even in life. You could be having an issue, maybe 100 issues that you are facing, but you just need to fix, out of 100, you just need to fix 20 of them, and 80% of the problems will disappear. So as we learn digital marketing today, I want to identify what is your Pareto principle in your sales and marketing. So pay attention to that as we go through this presentation. So, and what I'm asking ourselves, or what I want to ask you, what can you do with 20% of your effort in your business to give you 80% of results? This is a question I want to ask you, and I want you to start writing somewhere, because I will ask whether you have identified your Pareto principle at the very end of this presentation. And this is a conversation about strategy, where you could be putting a lot of effort. You are putting efforts like 100 things. You are doing 100 things. You need to sit back, sit down and analyze and ask yourself, by the way, am I getting value from all these 100 efforts that I'm putting? Or do I need just to put 20% of the effort that can give me 80% of the result? So this is a very, very important question. And when you understand this, you will understand the concept of strategy. Strategy is not hitting and throwing your money at every problem that you face. It's not doing everything that you will learn today. It is asking yourself, from all what I have learned today, I feel my Pareto principle would be two or three things that you can do that can give you 80 or 70% of the result. So, and this is something I would really want you to pay attention and ask yourself, have you identified your Pareto principle and what is it? And I'm very keen also to see the comments. You should be ready, be free. In the Q&A section, you will find we will open the Q&A section at some point, and I would want to read some of the feedback that you will be giving me as you go along. So be ready with your pen and paper, because we will be answering. We will want to know, for every person who is here, have you identified your strategy? Have you identified your 20 to 80% ratio in your strategy? Because this is the big idea about sales and marketing. So to be able to do online marketing effectively, I personally support businesses who are selling products online. I'm fascinated with SMEs, of course. I've been involved in trainings for Diamond Trust Bank and other banks like Kenya Commercial Bank and Cooperative Bank. And I'm very, very fascinated with SMEs because I personally feel they represent the future of our economy, the growth potential, the economy, the number of jobs that are created by SMEs. And we want to see how can a small business owner use a strategy and a plan that can help them achieve results, because there are a lot of people who are trying to sell online, but they are not getting traction. That's the truth. But there are those who are doing it right, and we will be looking at case studies. I personally am really obsessed with case studies. So for you to come up with a marketing strategy, your marketing strategy should have a framework. It should have a methodology. There is a structure that you should have. There is a checklist, or there is a formula, there is a process to ensuring your marketing works properly. And I have identified a number of them. One of them is, if you want to ensure you have a strategy that is working, you have to ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? What are the goals? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to achieve? What are the goals for my sales and marketing efforts? Do I want to increase online sales by 20% every month? Do I want to, get more sales online compared to offline? Do I want to drive traffic to a certain shop? What is your goal? So you have to identify the goal of your marketing strategy. And we will be looking at each of these items in detail. This is just an outline of what we'll be looking in the next 1 or 2 hours. Secondly, you have to ask yourself, who are you targeting? Who is the customer? What is the pain point of the customer? Where do the customer live? Where are they located? What are their needs? What are the challenges? Thirdly, you also need to come up with a content strategy. You have to ask yourself, what type of content should you create to capture the attention of the customer before you are able to sell to them? So, and we'll be talking a lot about content strategy, because digital platforms are just technology platforms. Facebook is just a tool. Twitter is just a tool. Instagram is just a tool. Your website is just a tool. WhatsApp is just a tool. What matters is the content that you create, the information that you create, the content that you create, the media that you create that will grab people's attention. And then now you can tell them, here is a product that I want you to consume. So content strategy is something we'll be also looking at. Number 4, channels. You have to ask yourself, there are so many channels. There could be hundreds and thousands of channels. I have personally done a research on digital channels. There are hundreds and thousands of channels, and perhaps you don't have to be in all of them, and you don't have to invest in all of them equally. You just need to identify your 20 to 80% ratio. Which are these 2 or 3 channels that I can focus on that can give me 80% of the results that I want? The other one is measurement. If you don't measure something, it means you don't know what is working and what is not working. So measurement is very important to evaluate success, to evaluate failure, to see, oh, this is working. I did this ad, oh, it's working. So I need to do more ads like this in future. Or I did a video instead of a banner, I did a video, and the video performed better than maybe the banner. So if you don't measure, you will never know what works and what doesn't work. So measurement, we'll be looking at it in detail. The other item that you need to pay attention to is responsibilities. Because as a business owner, you are one person. Well, there are those of us who are lucky, maybe you have a co-founder or a co-director, which is good. But in many businesses, you find it is a one-man show thing. So you are one business owner. There could be maybe some people who are supporting you, and you have to ask yourself, for me to sell online, for me to ensure the product reaches the customer, for me to ensure customers can find my business, can find my product, and are able to buy, what are the responsibilities that I need to assign a designer or a videographer or someone who can create an ad, or you have to have a structure on who is doing what. Out of all these things, who is doing what? Very, very important. The other thing is planning. You need to have a plan. A plan is important because it has a date, it has a timeline. It also has to have how will I do it. I want to ensure maybe I'm able to service a customer who is in Nigeria. For example, at Digital for Africa the other day, we got a client from Nigeria, and we were shocked to get a customer reaching out all the way from Nigeria and coming physically here in Kenya to consume our services and products. So planning is very important. You have to ask yourself, if you are targeting customers in Nigeria or customers in Rwanda or customers in Mombasa or customers in Lamu, wherever you are or wherever your customer is, you have to ask yourself, how will it be done? And when will it be done? So those are very, very important questions. The other question which is important is budget. You cannot come up with a marketing strategy if you don't have a budget. How much do you want to spend in this exercise of promoting and growing your business? Remember, marketing and sales and marketing is the engine of your business. If your business is not doing well right now, don't blame the government, because you cannot, there are things that you have control over. You can blame the government, you can blame elections, but that does not help, because you cannot stop elections, or you cannot, there are things that you cannot control. But there are those things that you have control, and you have to ask yourself, what do I need to ensure I'm investing, I'm making the right investment in the right tasks, in the right strategies to get the results. So in a nutshell, these are the issues that we'll be looking at. The other item that I want us to look at, of course, now we have to start with the goals, and we're asking ourselves, what are the goals that we want to achieve? What are the goals that we want to achieve? What do you want to achieve as a business owner? So let me give you an example of a goal, because we could be asking about goals, but we don't know what does Mwalimu mean when he talks about goals. And I want to share this training today with examples. I want to use examples to enable you to internalize this kind of information. The first business and case study we'll be looking at is a company that is based in Biashara Street here in Nairobi. They sell wines and spirits. They are located in Biashara Street. They sell wines and spirits and soft drinks. Like the drink that I'm drinking here, they sell it online. You can buy it online, but also they have physical shops. Their target audience is hotels, bars, and anybody who consumes wines. And I learned from them, for example, wines is not just about alcoholic wine. They also have non-alcoholic drinks, and that's something that is very interesting. So for them, they want to increase online sales by 15% every month. Their ultimate goal is they want to be the biggest and the largest liquor shop, online distributor of liquor in Kenya or in Nairobi, which is very interesting. And for us to be able to learn this, we need to look at some of these things practically. So I'll be taking you through this so that we look at it and internalize this information properly. So this is Jay's Wines. They are located here in Nairobi. You can see in terms of their selling point, they say, if you make an order of 3,000 shillings and above, they can do free delivery to you as a customer. And you can see they have placed their mobile number here, and they have a lot of products. They have different categories. They sell beer, they have wine, they have champagne, they have spirits, a lot of products. But this is Jay's Wines, and you can see the kind of products that they sell. I learned from them there are wines and spirits that go for up to 250,000. If you look at, for example, the premium drinks, if you go to premium drinks, you find there are premium products. This one is going for how much? 249,000. This one is going for 69,000. So, but the point here is, this is Jay's Wines. For those of us who have been feeling, oh, I'm doing digital marketing, I'm not getting any traction. I'm trying to sell my product, I'm not getting any traction. I want to give us inspiration. I want to encourage us. I want to inspire us by looking at local businesses. This is not a company in London or in the US. This is a local company owned by a Kenyan like you and me, and they are able to sell their products online and also physically at their shop. So we'll be looking at them in terms of as a case study to see what are they doing right. But that is their goal. They want to increase online sales every month. Let's look
Francis, if I may interrupt, please.
Yes.
The black bar on your screen is hindering a lot of the participants from viewing your slides.
Oh, this one, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Just a second. I'm trying to look at how I can minimize it, or I'm moving it around. I could be moving it around maybe. Is that better?
I believe that should be better.
Okay.
I will let you know in case of anything on the chat.
What you could do is click outside just click somewhere outside the.
Sorry. Well, it's not going off even after I click away. But anyway, I'll keep moving it around and I hope it will disappear. So, so how has Jay's Wines been able to achieve success? You know, they have been there from the year 2013, 2014, and they have been able to find a lot of success in their sales. And we want to look at what are some of the strategies they are using to grow their business, to grow their sales. One of them is, as I have demonstrated, they have a website. And in the website, they write a lot of blogs, articles, and they provide rich product information about the products that they are selling. So website has been the key driver of sales for them. So, and this is something I would really encourage any one of us who is in business. If you have a website is a valuable tool that can make a customer easy to find your business, understand your products, and that kind of a thing. As I have said, they have a website. They also have Instagram that they normally use to showcase the various products that they are selling, the different types of wines and spirits and other non-alcoholic beverages. They also have a Facebook page that they normally use for giveaways and also showcasing the different type of products. They also do Google ads. They normally do Google ads to target people who are searching. When you create a Google ad, you are targeting someone who is searching for your business. So Google ads are also have also been very, very valuable. So, and as I have said, Jay's Wines have already opened their website. Let's look at the kind of content or the kind of blogs. You can see even within their website, they have a blog section where they create articles and information to educate the public about the different products that they sell. You can see every month they have articles they write, like this is an article, the most popular brandy brands. Here's an article about the Johnny Walker brands, 10 most popular drinks for ladies. So all these ideas, all these articles, they increase the level of customer understanding. The customer is able to understand, oh, so there are, you know, which are the best products for women, for ladies. So you can see this kind of information makes their website to rank very highly on Google because the information is relevant, the information is educating the customer about what they are selling. So you can see they have a lot of articles within their website. So that is their strategy. And there is a lot that you can learn from Jay's Wines. Take some time and look at that website and see what you can learn from it. But that is their strategy. But what have they been able to achieve with their strategy? In terms of results, they have been able to get 56% of their sales coming from online. And this is something I got from them yesterday. 56% of their sales comes from online, only 44% of sales coming from the physical shop. So, and this is a very interesting point that if you do well, and you can see their strategy, website optimization, which is also another word we normally use in technology world, is search engine optimization. So they ensure they have blog articles, they do Instagram, they do Facebook, and they do Google Ads. It has given them a lot of results. So what is the lesson I have learned from Jay's Wines? The lesson from Jay's Wines is building a strong online presence pays off in the long run. And this is something I also want you to ask yourself. Remember, I told you, or I asked you to write something, your strategy, your 20 to 80% ratio. You can see they are not doing everything. Of course, there are a lot of things they are doing, but they are putting a lot of emphasis on website optimization, Instagram, Facebook, and Google Ads, and they are able to get value. The impact is very, very, as you can see, the number. I'm not sharing the numbers in terms of how much they sell. I'm just sharing their ratios just for confidentiality. But there's a lot we can learn from them, that building an online presence, a strong online presence, pays off in the long run. The other item that we'll be looking at is the question I was asking about: who are you targeting? Who is the customer that you are targeting? Who are you targeting? And we will do this by looking at another company called Apple Center Kenya. Apple Center Kenya is a small business based here in Kenya. It's not the Apple brand that you know in the US. It's a small business based here in Kenya. And they sell Apple devices, the iPhones, the MacBook, the iPad. You know, those are the things that they sell. And they target Apple fans, you know, people who love Apple products. And they are very clear also about the location. They are targeting Nairobi, they are targeting Mombasa, they are targeting Kisumu, they are targeting Juba, Dar es Salaam, and Kampala. And there are reasons why they are not targeting every part of Kenya. And this is something I really want us to understand as we learn this digital marketing course. And that's why I was saying strategy is very important. Your 20 to 80% ratio for Apple brand or Apple Center Kenya, they focus on Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Juba, Dar es Salaam, and Kampala. So when they are creating their ads, they are not targeting the whole of Kenya. They are not targeting the 56 million people in Kenya, or everyone in Tanzania, or everyone in South Sudan. They are targeting specific cities and towns. And I want to ask us, and I want to ask you today, do you know, how well do you know your customer? You know, have you ever asked yourself, do you know the customer to the granular level of knowing their name, their job title, their age, whether they are married or not, the challenges they are going through, their hopes and their fears? And this is a very, very important insight, that you shouldn't just know your customer by number, you should know them by name. Do you know that your customer by name? It's very, very important, because the more you know about the customer, where they live, their job title, their age, their challenges, their hopes. Everyone has their hopes. They have, every one of us as human beings, we have our aspirations. And you have to ask yourself, what is the challenge my customer is going through? What are the hopes and the fears my customer is going through? So Apple Center has been able to understand who they are targeting. As I've said, they are not targeting everyone. They are targeting Apple fans in Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Juba, Dar es Salaam, and Kampala. So the question is, if you know this is the type of customer you want to target, how do you do that now on the digital platforms? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. So, and I want to demonstrate to you how we can be able to get that kind of information. So there is a tool I normally use. The tool is called Facebook Audience Insights. Facebook Audience Insights. I want you to write it somewhere. Facebook Audience Insights. This is the tool that can help you to target people based on location, based on age, based on their interests, based on the things that they are searching for, rather than targeting every person in the country. Because every time you hear someone saying, oh, me, I'm targeting everyone, that is someone who don't understand the customer well. You are not targeting everyone. Your customer has a name, your customer has a level of income, your customer has a location, your customer has their fears. If you're selling a product online, for example, the customer is asking them, oh, will I receive the product? If I pay online, will I get the product delivered in the right format and in the right quality? So using Facebook Audience Insights, I want to demonstrate to you how Apple Center, for example, uses Facebook to target people in various locations. So when you open Facebook Audience Insights, it takes you to a dashboard that looks like this. And it gives you the potential of all people in Kenya who use Facebook and Instagram. And you can see in Kenya specifically, we have 10 to 12 million people who use Facebook and Instagram every month. And the question is, because we have 12 million people, is it true that these are all my customers? The truth is, these are not all your customers. You can see even their age, gender, and all that, and the different cities. But these are not all your customers. There is something that you need to do to ensure you are only targeting your customers. Your customers are not the potential 12 million people who use Facebook and Instagram every month. So you come here and click filter. You can see filter here. You click filter and then come here and say, in terms of location, I'm targeting Nairobi. So you tap Nairobi. You are also targeting Kisumu. This is now the case for Apple Center. They're also targeting Juba. And this is Juba in South Sudan. Juba, South Sudan. They're also targeting Kampala. So you just type the location where your customer lives, or any other town that you want to target. And when you do that, you can see the estimated audience is reducing. It was initially 12 million, now it is about 8.6 million. So the more interest you add, the more the audience becomes sharper and more narrower. So in terms of age, you also have to ask yourself, what is the ideal age of my customer? Are they 18 to 65 years, or there are maybe much more mature audience, people who have a disposable income, people who are already working and learning, maybe they are above 25 years and above. So you have to enter that. The moment I enter 25 years and above, you can see the numbers have also changed here. Gender, are you targeting male, or are you targeting men and women, or are you just targeting one gender? So if you change the gender there, you will realize the numbers will also reduce. And then when it comes to interest, you have to ask yourself now, for Apple Center, they are not targeting people who are using a Samsung or a Techno. They are targeting only Apple fans or iPhone users. So under interest, you'll come here and say, I want to target.
Francis, if I may interrupt once again.
Yes.
Your screen is a bit blurry. A number of the participants can't see.
Okay, sorry about that. Maybe I can stop it and then share it again. If it becomes better, let me know.
Yes, right now it's better.
Is it better?
Yes.
Okay. So we are using the case study of Apple Center. They are targeting people who use Apple products. We call them Apple fans, people who love MacBooks, iPhones, and those kinds of things. People who live in Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Juba, Dar es Salaam, and Kampala. And now I have been able to demonstrate how you can be able to target people in specific locations, not the entire country of Kenya.
Francis, your skin has gone blurry again.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's going on and off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I have control over that. Perhaps it's because of the internet connection. So I'll continue. I'll enter iPhone. So I'm now entering people who love iPhone. So I'm not targeting Samsung, Techno, or other brands, Chinese brand. I'm just targeting iPhone users. I'll also add iPad. I'll also add MacBook. The moment I add any product from Apple, you can see the numbers here are reducing. Initially, it was about 12 million. Now we are talking about 1.4 million. So the more interest I add, the more the audience becomes narrow and sharper and sharper. And that is how digital marketing targeting is supposed to be done. So Macintosh, anyone who uses a Macintosh, there are people who still use the old name for iPhone or for a MacBook. They still call it a Macintosh. So this is an example of how to do targeting on Facebook. Once you do that now, the next step is now to create the ad. You just now click create the ad. So a lot of times people create an ad and target everyone.
Sorry, Francis,
Yes.
once again, we can't see your screen.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me.
I'm seeing one of the
stop.
comments saying if you could drop the video on your end, and it would improve the quality.
I've removed the video. I will be sharing again. If you see the screen and it has improved, let me know. Is it better?
Yes, but it's intermittent, on and off.
Okay. Maybe that's something that I don't have control because I'm in the office and we normally have.
Rosalind, Annabelle, how is it on your end?
Rosalind?
Same here.
Yeah, it's a bit, but it has improved
yeah.
a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, you know, these technology things, they sometimes fail us when we need it to work. So apologies for that. We'll just bear with me. So I have been able to demonstrate how to target customers based on where the customer lives, based on their age, and also based on interest. And when I have added interest, the target audience has reduced from 12 million to 1.4 million. Now this, when I do that, I'm now ready actually to create the ad. I'm not able to create the ad at the moment. But a lot of times I see people creating an ad without narrowing their audience. So you will spend a lot of money online and you are not getting value. And the problem is because you are targeting everyone. You know, in terms of location, in terms of age, and in terms of behavior, you are not very clear about who you are targeting. So that's something that I would really want you to pay attention to. And I want to encourage you to try and play around with the tool. The tool I've talked about, it's called Facebook Audience Insights. It allows you to target people based on location and age and different types of interests, and you are able to get value from your Facebook and Instagram ads. So don't go to Facebook and target everyone. So Apple Center also, they do something very well. They have a very good website. They also do Instagram and Facebook, and they also have Google My Business. I want to demonstrate by visiting their website, Apple Center. Remember, this is the Apple of Kenya, the Apple Center brand in Kenya, not the one in the US. So you can see they have a website where you can even go and shop for an iPhone, for an iPad, for a watch or an audio or any accessory. So if I click iPhone, you can go there and you will find, I'm waiting for it to load. So you can see the product is available. The product is available there, and you are able to see useful and detailed information about the product, the price, and how it works. So this website has been very valuable for them, Apple Center. The website has been very valuable for them to a level where they have been able to get results. And what is the results? In terms of sales, for Apple Center, their biggest driver of sales is Google search. The biggest source of sales is, this is now their strategy that has given them results. Google search, Instagram, and their website. So someone who is already online searching for an iPhone in Kenya, when they search, they will find Apple Center, and now they can be able to visit their website and be able to buy the product and that kind of a thing. So what have I been able to learn from Apple Center? What I've been able to learn from Apple Center is this: when you focus on a specific market segment, you can build a competitive advantage. You don't have to target everyone. In fact, I remember the owner of this business, his name is Peter Miner. He used to sell all types of phones, and he used to repair and sell all types of phones. And the business was not scalable and it was not as profitable. The day they decided, when Peter decided now he'll be selling only iPhone products, that is when everything changed, and they have been able to get a lot of success. And that's something that all of us can learn from Apple Center Kenya, that if you focus on a market segment, you don't have to target 12 million people. You could be targeting 1.4 million people, but you have to have the understanding and the knowledge of where your customer is, where do they live? What do they care about? What are their problems? What are their challenges, as I've been able to demonstrate? And when you are able to do that, you will get a lot of value from your online marketing efforts. Number 3, in terms of priority areas or strategies for digital marketing, is content strategy. What type of stories can you create? What type of stories can you tell your customers to grab their attention? And you should ask yourself, I've come up with some of the stories that I can help you to, or I can give you ideas on some of the stories you can be telling about your business. Instead of just showing people your product, you can show people how the product works. You can also showcase a customer using your product or an influencer using your product. An influencer is someone who has a huge following, maybe 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, depending on how much you are able to afford. You can engage a customer or an influencer and record them when they're using your product. And I will be showing you some of the case studies on content strategy in a short while. But also, you can also explain, how does the product benefit the customer? How does the product benefit the customer? This is a very, very important question to ask. And I want to demonstrate this by giving you, even specifically with the company that I was just talking about here, Apocenter. Let's look at some of the videos that they create on Instagram. We will go to Instagram and we will search for Apocenter. You can see this is Apocenter Kenya. This is a business based here in Nairobi. And we want to look at what are some of the videos and what are some of the content that they create that has been able to give them a lot of success. So I'll just pick one of the videos that they have. I'll choose Reels. Reels are short video clips. So I'll look, I think here I've seen they are using a journalist. This is a journalist here in Kenya to promote their business. But let's look at when they are now doing the repairs. How do they normally do it? So you can see from that video, instead of saying we do phone repairs, they have done a video with a technician. They have recorded a video with a technician repairing an iPhone or repairing the battery or doing a battery replacement. And you can look at Apocenter and look at some of the strategies, because this is not private, it is public. You can see some of the the videos they have created, and you can learn a lot from Apocenter in terms of their strategy. So showcase your product as it is being used by the customer, or explain the benefit of the product to the customer. In terms of the different types of media, there are different types of medias that you can create. You can create a banner, you can do short videos, you can create an article, you can do a free webinar. For example, Diamond Trust Bank and KBA, they have prepared this free webinar for you, and you are learning something, I believe, from this webinar. You can also do memes. Memes are funny, creative banners and GIFs, things that can capture people's attention. And once you grab people's attention, you can now be able to sell to them. Don't just be focused on selling, selling, selling. Ask yourself, out of every 5 posts that you make, are you able to do 4 posts to educate the customer and 1 post maybe to sell? And that is how you should be able to get success. We will also look at another case study. The company here is called Highstyle. I got this from one of my students. I didn't even know about Highstyle, but they're doing a good job on Instagram. We look at how they have been doing short videos on Instagram and TikTok, and how they are getting success. So I'll just get their their Instagram account. So we'll go to Instagram. And we'll just play one of the videos. Sorry.
Inashindwa kuvumilia, si kwamba hapa nayo ni mtumero yangu. Inashindwa kuvumilia, si kwamba hapa nayo ni mtumero.
The idea here is, instead of saying we sell this type of dress or we sell this type of top, they show you someone using or wearing that dress or that top. And if you look at, there's a lot of engagement in their content, and people are saying, we love you, we like your ideas. I would want you at some point, take some time and look at this brand. They use, so the brand is called High Style. You can find them on Instagram, but they're also in many other channels. And they create a lot of content showcasing customers or even influencers using their products. And there's a lot of engagement from their content. There's a lot of engagement from their content. Let's play another. Sorry.
Stay at home, walking contradiction, get some factual and fiction. Sometimes I wanna roll, but stay at home, walking contradiction, get some factual and fiction. Sometimes I wanna roll, but stay at home.
That's how to do digital marketing. Instead of saying, I normally sell this product, I normally sell this product, show me a customer who is using your product, and that is how I will understand. So, and the lesson from High Style, instead of telling me, show me. So that's a lesson. Show me, don't tell me. Don't tell me about the product or the price. Show me when the customer is using your product. That is how marketing, online marketing works. And I have a question for us, and I want to read the feedback that you will be giving me. I want to read this question, and I want you to give me, remember we have an exercise at the end of the training today, but I also want to hear from you. Do you know which was the most popular website last year in Kenya? I want you to give me the feedback on the chat section, if you, or even the chat section. If you have, there's some feedback coming, I will be responding to some of the questions that you'll be asking, but I want you to ask the questions on, the question will be coming on Q&A, but the chat section, I'm saying people are saying the most popular channel in Kenya last year was, I've seen, let me read some of the feedback that has come. Shah says google.com, Terry says TikTok, someone also said TikTok. Raki Shah says Google Classroom. Wow. Zipporah Ndichu, thank you very much. Zipporah says TikTok. Pius Egondi says TikTok. Kelly says Viusasa for Kenyan. Interesting. Luis Odiambo says Google. Who else? Anne Jerry says Instagram. Tobias Ogallo says Google. Falmina says Google. Anyway, those are some of the insights or the feedback that is coming. But let's look at the real truth. This is the real truth from Cloudflare. Cloudflare is a company that tracks websites globally. They track website traffic, and they also help companies to improve the speeds of their website. So according to Cloudflare data for last year, TikTok was the #1 website in Kenya in terms of popularity, followed by Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, and then Twitter, and then you have WhatsApp. But there is a trend that you can see. Can you see some trend there? Is there something that you can see which is standing out? I think I can see it. A lot of these platforms, some of them, they do a lot of video content. TikTok does video, even Facebook has video. There is also Netflix, they do video, YouTube does video. So, and even Twitter does video. Also WhatsApp, you can do video on WhatsApp. And the lesson here is, video content is what people are resonating with nowadays. If you create content and it is in video format, people will resonate with the video more. It doesn't mean you don't do blogs. It doesn't mean you don't do banners. But if you do videos, and especially if your videos are creative, they are entertaining, they show the back office, they show the employees at work, they show, you know, the real business, the real hustle that you go through as a business owner. They show you even when you are in a bad mood. It makes people relate with your brand because they say, I thought this company is even a very big company. They are in an international. In fact, from Peter of Apocenter, he tells me a lot when customers interact with this brand online, they think it's a multinational. They think it's the Apple in the US, but this is a local Kenyan. Miner, Mr. Miner, the guy who used to sell iPhone, Samsung and Techno phones on River Road. But now he's at Rehema House and he's doing a great job. So we also have another fourth case study. And I believe you are writing notes because we'll be having a conversation at the end. I want to know whether you have understood and whether you have come up with your own Pareto principle. Fourth case study for today is this guy called the roaming chef. This chef, I want to use him as someone who can show us the potential of the internet. He's doing a great job. You can see right now on TikTok, he has more than 1.4 million followers. And let's look at some of the videos that has made him to be an international brand. He's a Kenyan, he's a rugby player, if I'm not wrong. So let's look at some of the videos. Who has seen the roaming chef?
Sesame seeds, toast, let it cool, cucumber, tomatoes, avocado, salt, lemon juice, dill, feta cheese, salad done, tahini dressing, ground to a paste, oil, lemon juice, salt, cold water, garlic, spoon over the dressing. Less is more, but I went overboard. Salmon, belly out, portion and scour. Season both sides with salt. Cold pan, skin side down, place your salmon. Butter, lemon juice. Done. Nice and crispy. Plate the salad. Salmon, lemon slice. Done. Nice and flaky. It's my son's favorite meal, and if he's happy, I am happy.
Wow, that is
Sesame seeds, toast.
But in terms of engagement, this video is has been watched more than 12 million times on TikTok. 2.7 million people have liked it. There are a lot of comments, more than 12,000, and it has been shared by other people more than 39,000 times. So this is an example of showing us the potential of the technology, the potential of social media, the potential of digital platforms. If you create content, remember here, he's not telling you to buy something. He's just creating content. And now it's very easy for him, to get partnerships from brands and different types of companies. And I've seen a lot of brands partnering with him to showcase their products in different ways and formats. So that's him. Dennis Ombachi is a Kenyan. He's not someone from the US. He's using the same technology platforms that are available to all of us, and it is possible. I'm telling the story about Dennis Ombachi as an example of the potential of technology, that if this is possible, it is not impossible. It can be done if you do it well and if you focus. So, and the lesson from Dennis Ombachi is be the best in what you do. And I'm asking you today, in whichever business you're doing, have you asked yourself, what are we good at? What am I good at as a business owner? What is my competitive advantage? No, if you are not the best, I've done a lot of Google, trainings for Google here in Kenya, and they say Kenyans are obsessed with the best. They're looking for the best videographer, they're looking for the best cameraman, they're looking for the best phone. So if you are not the best in what you do, you will have a lot of challenges. But if you're the best, you will find traction. So what's the lesson from our friend, the roaming chef. Number 4, in terms of channels, which platforms are the best for your business? I want to ask us, or I want to ask you as a business owner or as a marketing professional or a salesperson, if you're here, which platforms are the best for you? There could be 1,000 platforms. There could be 10 platforms, but where can you put 20% of your effort and get 80% of the value that you want? And I have created a structure here just to summarize some of the channels that exist, the different platforms that you can use. You have a website. A website is important for building trust. You have WhatsApp. WhatsApp is good for customer support. It is good for retention. You know, if you share something on your WhatsApp status, you don't get charged by anybody. You know, you just create a banner, you create a video, and you share it on your WhatsApp, and customers who have used your product before are able to see the latest product that you have in the market. We have Facebook. Facebook is very ideal for videos, for banners, for live conversations, for giveaways. So, and we have seen the potential that Facebook has. And we'll be looking at Facebook more deeply in a few minutes. We have Instagram, very good for videos, very good for photos. And videos, especially Reels, are performing very well right now on Instagram. We have also YouTube. You can create content on YouTube to educate customers, to inform customers and show customers how the product works. Instead of just talking about the price and that kind of a thing, you can show the customer how the product works. LinkedIn, very good if you are targeting career professionals, people who are working in different organizations. You can target them. You can create only LinkedIn as a channel can help you to target people based on their job title, which is very interesting. And even organization, you can create an ad on LinkedIn, for example, and target people who work at Safaricom or who work at Diamond Trust Bank. Google, very good at targeting people who are in the market searching. Someone who is searching something online, when they see your ad, they're likely to convert. And just for demonstration, let me just give an example of a Google ad. Let me demonstrate or give you an example of a Google ad. If I am looking for, let's say I'm looking for laptops for sale in Nairobi, you can see the number of ads that are available here. This is an ad. This is a Google ad. This is a Google ad. This is a Google ad. All these are ads, and these are examples of how to create a Google ad to target people who are searching for your product. There are people who are never going to be on Facebook or on Instagram. Maybe they don't like the platform, but they will always use Google. They will search for your, sometimes they may not search for your company. They may be searching for a product. Like now they are looking for, I'm searching here on the screen, laptops for sale in Nairobi. You can see we have found 4 results and all of them are advertisements. So ads have a lot of value because you are targeting someone who is searching for a product that you are selling. So Google Ads or Google generally is a powerful platform for creating ads. TikTok, as we have seen, with the Dennis Obachi is getting a lot of traction, but also companies, small businesses can creating funny content, interesting content, relatable content, and share and create awareness about your business, awareness about your product or how your product works, but make it interesting, make it fun, make it worth sharing. You know, if you create content that is not worth sharing, then you're doing a disservice to your audience. You can also have a mobile app to digitize your service. You can build a mobile app. If you don't have a website, you can build a mobile app. There are benefits, there are challenges. Every technology tool, every channel comes with its pros and cons, its advantages and disadvantages. But here we are trying to ask ourselves, what is the 20 to 80% ratio, or what can I do with 20% of the effort to get 80% of the results? We also have Google My Business. That is a tool that has been created by Google for free for business owners to help customers to find where your business is located, but also for building trust. I want to show you how Google My Business works, or the value of it. For example, here you can see I've searched for laptop for sale in Nairobi. You can see after the ads, now what we are seeing here, these are called Google listings or Google My Business. You can see here, there's a company called Zuri Digital. There's another company called Kenya Computer Shop, and there's another company here also appearing here. So these companies, I can tell you, any company that we are seeing here, whether it is a Google ad or whether it is Google My Business listing, they are getting sales from digital. Why? Because they have made it easier for customers to find them. Customers are looking for a product, they are looking for a service. And if you are able to strategically place yourself online, you are able to get sales and get traction, as we have seen today. The value of Google My Business is you can also get the ratings, because you can see this one has 4.6. Ratings is another social proof or social element or an easier way for someone to ask themselves, can I trust Zuri or Kenya Computer Shop? I look, maybe I'll go for one who has more ratings, because this one has 4.6, but 43 people have rated them. So it means they have handled more customers, and that's why Google is rating them as #1 here. That's the value of Google My Business. But also Google My Business shows the customer the location of your business. You can see these 3 businesses, we are seeing them here, but also we can see where they are located. If I zoom a little, I'm able to see any of those 3 businesses that we have searched here. So Google My Business also has a lot of value. So the question for you, which you will tell us today in our interaction section, have you figured out where you will put 20% of your efforts to get 80% of the value? Do you have a strategy for your digital marketing, or you are shooting everywhere and shooting blanks, you are not getting value? And this is a question you can ask yourself, or ask the person who manages your social media or who manages your website. When was the last time you got a sale from a customer who came online? So these are questions you should ask. When customers come to purchase at your shop, you normally ask them, by the way, Caleb, let's say the name of the customer is Caleb. Where did you learn about us? So that you can know, oh, we are now getting more customers from Facebook, or we are getting more customers from the website. So that you can put more focus on the website, because it seems the website is giving us more value than any other channel. So I have asked this question, and I really want to get it from you at the end of this training. Have you identified your priority area? Have you identified your priority areas, the areas you want to focus on? Your strategy, your 20-80 kind of ratio, have you identified it? And I want you to write it. I want you to write it down. I'll give you a few minutes to write it down, because I'll allow some of us to share their experiences. Based on what you have learned today, have you identified the areas where you will focus on, the efforts, so that you are efficient? We are looking for efficiency so that we can make money. You don't want to spend a lot of money and get zero return on investment. Another case study is a brand called Optica East Africa. I am inspired by Optica East Africa. #1, because I use glasses. #2, because all my glasses, I started using glasses in 1998 when I was a student at Jomo Kenyatta University. And from that time, I have never bought glasses from anywhere. They are not my customers, to be honest. They are not my client, but I am their customer. I consume their product. I've never bought products from anywhere else. I normally buy from them. They normally import for me from India, and they make it, and you can make custom-made glasses. So this is our 5th case study. And why am I using Optica as a case study for today? Optica have been able to do very good digital advertising. For example, the ad we are seeing here, you can see in terms of they have a compelling offer. Get 20% off on your first online order. Look at also the creative, the design of their photos. The focus is on the eye, it's on the glass, and a beautiful lady who everyone will be able to notice. Very creative. And then there is a call to action. You have shown me the offer I will get, 20%. You have shown me the product. So you have captured my attention. So what? The question you should, the answer here is shop now. I want you to shop now. So if you click shop now, you will be able to go to their e-commerce website and be able to buy the product and find the product, the price, the features, and those kinds of things. So if someone tells you Facebook doesn't work, if someone tells you Instagram doesn't work, I have interacted with Optica for many, many years, and I can tell you they are finding value from their Facebook and Instagram. Why is it that they are finding value? Number one, I did my own research, and I discovered today, this is something I got it today in the morning. 86 ads are currently running on Optica East Africa. And these ads are running on Facebook and Instagram. And we will look at them. Here is another one. It's another ad from Optica East Africa. The message, walk in for clearer vision. So you can see the quality photo, putting attention to the eye, and then there's a call to action there. So this is another example of an ad. But I've said 86 ads are running currently on Optica. How did I know that? Well, there are tools that you can use, and because you are today here in class, courtesy of KBA and Diamond Trust Bank, I am introducing you to another free tool that you can use to investigate your competitors for free. The tool is called Facebook Ads Library. Facebook Ad Library. Just type Facebook Ad Library. You can use Facebook Ad Library to investigate how your competitors are doing on Facebook and Instagram. It's a free tool that brings more transparency. It was created by Facebook to create more transparency in advertising. So the only thing you need to know about your business is their name. As long as you know their name, like now, I want to use Optica as an example. How did I know that Optica has more than 86 ads running? You can see 86 ads are currently running. So someone say, oh, Facebook doesn't work, oh, Instagram doesn't work. That is not the truth. Optica East Africa is finding a lot of value, and all these ads are active. This is active. It started running on 12th of September. This one started running on 12th. I think there is a campaign they are running. You can see all these are ads. And a lot of them started running on 12th of September. You can see the different types of ads, and they are all active. All these are ads active. They are running. The only thing we may not know is the amount of money they have put, but we can see the ad. If you see the ad and you like it, you can always interact with it by clicking on see details, and you can see the ad here. There is one here.
Hello. If you can't see, come see us. Hello. If you can't see, come see us.
I personally love Optica, and they are doing well. You can see on Facebook, they have 105,000 followers. On Instagram, they have 19,000 followers. So they are finding value, and they're creating an ad. What happens if I click learn more? It takes me to the website. They have a very easy to use e-commerce website where once you log in, once you get inside, they just give you a few steps to benefit that offer. Remember, this is an offer, so I'm sure you have to answer some questions. Maybe let's say I want to book a session. They're asking for my email, get the discount, and I'm already in. So I'm sure I will get an email. So, but the truth is, Optica East Africa is doing a great job. Look at their website. The website is very good, easy to use. I personally use this as a case study, and this is our case study today. This is a company that is finding value from digital marketing. They have products, and they have a good service. To be honest, they don't just have good products, they have a great customer experience. As a consumer of Optica East Africa, and if they are here, if any one of them is here, or they have someone representing them here, it would be very nice to hear from them. But that is another case study from Optica East Africa. They are doing a great job on Facebook, on Instagram, and on their website. So if you want to run ads on Facebook and Instagram, I have created a checklist that can help you to ensure your ads are effective. You're getting value from your ads. And the checklist is very clear. Number one, ensure you have a captivating design. Don't share something boring. You have seen the ads we've seen from Optica East Africa. Something that's captivating, it captures people's attention. Grab my attention first before you sell to me. So the creative is very important. Number two, the campaign duration is very important. I've seen a lot of people doing ads for 5 days and they say, oh, Mwalimu, my ads are not working. Oh, Instagram doesn't work, you know. But the truth is, Facebook is not a human being. Instagram is not a human being. It needs some time to understand who is your ideal customer, who likes your content, who is engaging with your content, who is responding to your message before they can now be able to reach them. So Facebook uses artificial intelligence. It uses machine learning to understand the type of customer who likes your product and who likes your content. So you need to give them time. I recommend as an expert, and remember, I've done a lot of ads for and even campaigns with Google in Kenya and Facebook in Kenya. So I can say I have experience in advertising. I would encourage you, instead of doing an ad for 1 week, because within a week, the ad will not have understood your customers very well. Let the ad to run for at least 30 days. If it can run for 3 months, the better. But maybe you don't have a budget for 3 months, but you do 30 days. Within 30 days, Facebook or Instagram, or even Google, or even LinkedIn, whichever channel you choose, it will have understood who is your customer, who likes your content, and it will continue optimizing and targeting people who are similar to the people who are engaging with your content. So allow your ad to run for some time. Don't run an ad for 1 day and stop it and say, oh, I got nothing from the ad. Wow. Facebook is not a person. It doesn't know who you wanted to target until you give it time. So in digital advertising, we call it the learning phase. Your ad needs to go through a learning phase. And a learning phase is a moment where Google or Facebook or any technology you are using will need some time to understand your ad and the audience you're targeting and who likes the content, who is engaging, who is responding, who is converting. I recommend 30 days and above. One week, that's on the lower side. 5 days, that's on the lower side. And this is my strong recommendation. In terms of targeting, I have been able to show you how to do targeting on Facebook and Instagram. Don't target everyone. Don't tell me I'm targeting everybody in Kenya. Did you know, for example, you can even target someone who is based in Westland, 5 kilometers within Westlands. You don't have to target everybody in Kenya. For example, if you're selling pizza, a very perishable product that cannot be delivered from Nairobi to Lamu or Lodwar, you can say, I want my ad to run only within 5 kilometers of Nairobi. I want my ad to run within 5 kilometers of Sarit Center, so that you spend your money efficiently and strategically. So that's a conversation around targeting. The other conversation or a checklist that I have created for us today is the budget. If you create an ad and spend 500 shillings, and you are running the ad even for, let's say, a week or a month, 500 bob will not give you any value. It's like having a billboard on Wayakiwe that is as small as this diary that I'm holding here. And you say, oh, I ran a billboard on Wayakiwe and I got no calls, no customer converted. But question is, what is the value you will get from a small billboard the size of this diary? So, and I know some of us are small business owners, some of us are starting, but the truth is, if you have a 500 shillings budget, that will not take you anywhere. I strongly recommendation as an expert. I make a strong recommendation, and Google and Facebook, they recommend have something. 15,000 and above will give you some impact. It will give you some result. And when the ad starts running, don't stop it, don't suspend it along the way. Let it run the full course of 30 days or whatever period you want to run. Don't run an ad for 1,000 shilling. It will be spent and you'll get nothing. And I want to ask us this question. If you ran an ad, if you created a billboard and you put it along Wayakiwe, the size of this diary, and you put it on Wayakiwe, will you pay City Council? Will you pay Magnet Ventures? If they are the owners of the billboard, you will pay, but you will not get value. So you really need to ask yourself, how much money do I need to spend to get something that has an impact? So before rushing, instead of rushing and spending 500, 300 shillings, be more strategic. come up with a good creative, come up with a good design, come up with a good short video clip, like the one we saw from Optica, before you come and run and do the targeting and all those things. And then once you set it up, let it run for a longer period. In advertising, we say 3 months of a campaign. That's a very good ideal moment. You will have really understood who cares about your product. I also consult for Nation Media Group as a consultant. And I've been teaching the same things I'm teaching you, I'm also teaching them. Because they're very keen on understanding what's the return on investment. When customers give us money, they want value for money. And value for money cannot come within, a split of a second or 1 day or 2 days. You will not get value from that. You need to run and add a month all the way to 3 months to get an impact. Remember, we are talking about strategic advertising, 20% effort that will give you 80% of the value. And then, of course, the last checklist there is, tell me, I have seen now you're selling an iPhone, I've seen you're selling the ginger lemon from Peptan. So what? So tell me what I need to do. As we have seen from Optica, they're telling you, book now, or click here, or call this number, or fill this form. So call to action, very important. And the question I have for us, for those of us who have been doing advertising for some time, do you normally include a call to action in your ad? Because if you create an ad, even no matter how big it is, but you're not telling people what you want them to do, you will not get value. You have to give people a call to action. The call to action could be a mobile number they can call. Call to action could be book now, click here, visitors, we have an open day. Come for an open day, a free open day, before we even talk about buying, build some level of trust before you tell a customer to pay. I know we are all interested in selling, but the truth is, selling or marketing is not a transaction. It is a journey. It starts from awareness. It starts from creating content. It starts from interacting with the customer before transacting. So interaction brings transaction. Interaction brings transaction. So don't start with the transaction first. Interact with me first, Interact with me first. Let me understand who I am, understand what my challenges, or create content that will build trust on YouTube, on Facebook, or any other channel, or on your website. For us at Digital for Africa, we have seen when customers visit our website, most likely they will convert because we have provided enough trust elements and they are able to say, I saw you online and I'm persuaded you're the right experts to provide the value that you are offering. So the lesson there is good advertising, and this is a lesson now from Optica East Africa. Good advertising pays off. I don't have the numbers in terms of how much Optica sells. They are not my client. I'm just their consumer, and I am, as a marketer and as a sales expert, I'm always very curious to see the kind of billboards they create, the type of ads they create. I'm always paying attention, and I can tell you they are doing a great job. Switching gears a little bit to something else, I want to ask us today, have you ever asked yourself, why is Larry Madowo the most sought after journalist in Africa? Have you ever asked yourself that question? He used to be on NTV. He used to have a show called The Trend. He left NTV, he went to BBC. He's a hot cake. Right now he's on CNN. But the truth is, the reason why Larry Madowo has captured a lot of attention and everyone is looking for him, including the biggest media houses in the world, is because of the audience that he commands. If you look at, and this is something that I shared some time back, if you look at his numbers, 4.7 million fans are following him on different platforms. He's bigger than even some of the media houses that I don't want to mention in terms of the amount of reach he can give you through his social media platforms. And this is not necessarily for us to tell ourselves that we want to be like Larry Madowo, but to be inspired by the power and potential and the possibilities that the internet has. Larry Madowo is a good case study on, there's a lot of value we can get. If we have a following, if we have an audience, we can monetize that audience. We can make money from the audience if we have a captive audience. So there's an opportunity for us to do influencer marketing. Maybe you have done a lot of Instagram, you've done a lot of different types of things and they are not working. Have you tried influencer marketing? And you don't have to hire Larry Madowo, you may not afford him, but you can hire an expert in your area, someone who is a specialist in your domain, in your market segment, and you tell them, these are the KPIs, these are the goals that I want to achieve. This is a product, and this is how I will give you the incentive. This is what you will get. So, and I have been doing a lot of influencer marketing management for different brands. And I think I have seen if you choose an influencer carefully, they match your audience, they match your product, they align with your values. Don't just choose for someone who is so popular. Look at, is it an expert? Is this person trusted? Do they have a good reputation? You know, there are influencers who have very negative reputation. You don't want to work with someone who is toxic, who is very, very toxic in terms of language. You know, I don't want to mention some of the bad influencers, but there are very good influencers who are doing a great job. And they're driving brand awareness, they're driving sales. The value of an influencer will give you the creativity, the authenticity in your content, and they will make people remember your brand. So a good example of an influencer who I admire is this lady called Mini Chaps. And she's not expensive, to be honest. I've asked her several times how much her red card is. You can reach out to her if you feel you align with what she does. But this is a campaign she was doing for this brand called Salit. You can see, if you look at this is what you call creativity. There's a lot of creativity that has gone through to get this kind of concept. You can see the chapati there. You can see the some meat there. But the product that is being sold is salad, you know. And the copy here, she says, meet the secret behind every tasty meal, literally. Could appreciate good cooking with salads. So you can be sure she has been sponsored, she has been paid, and you can see people are happy about what she's doing. I personally follow her on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, another channel, and I think this is one of the young influencers who has a lot of future. You can learn from her. We're almost going to the last case study. This is an insurance agency. They are based at Mamlaka Road here in Nairobi. They call themselves Dawit Insurance. They target companies and business owners. Their product is insurance. They are an insurance agency. And I can tell you, in my digital advertising experience, selling insurance is one of the most difficult things that you can ever do. Real estate and insurance are very technical in terms of selling. It's not easy to sell real estate or insurance. But Dawit has been getting a lot of traction, and they are one of the most decorated and awarded agencies in Kenya. What is their strategy? They have a very good website that has very detailed information about their product. They have blog articles where they educate customers on how their products work, but they are also very efficient in settling claims. They offer a better customer experience. You may not have time to visit them, but I would encourage you to look at them. They're doing a great job. Their biggest source of sales is referrals from happy customers. Referrals from happy customers. Why? Because they are efficient in settling claims. They are very efficient in settling claims. Instead of 3 months of following a claim, if an accident or something happens, they do it within 21 days. So that's a very efficient organization. It's a very efficient agency. And the lesson, and this is my client, so if you want to reach out to them, you can tell me. The lesson I have learned from them is the speed of service. Speed of service matters. Efficiency of your service matters. If 10 companies are selling a similar product, but one company is delivering in 30 minutes, and your company is delivering 48 hours, the truth is, people go for the convenient, the most convenient. They look for the one that is most efficient, because you could be having 100 companies selling similar products from same brands, but one is more faster in delivering, or one is more faster in their service. So customers will go for where there is more efficiency. So speed of service matters. I can't repeat this enough. Be efficient in your service delivery. How long does it take for you to deliver the product? For you to complete the service, if you are offering a service, how long does it take? If you can reduce from 5 days to 1 day, from 1 day to 12 hours, from 12 hours to 30 minutes, the more you reduce the speed of service, you're becoming more efficient, and customers will get more sales. They will be your biggest champions. They will be the biggest source of referrals. So as almost we wind up, how can you measure digital marketing success? You can look at the interactions, the clicks, the shares, the comments that you're getting. You can also look at the leads that you're getting, the number of customers, contacts that you're getting, the conversions, the sales that you're getting. And some of these things you can't know unless you ask a customer. A customer can come. You could be selling shoes online. Maybe you are Bata or whoever you are. You do campaigns online, but if you don't connect them with physical shop, it becomes a problem to know sales attribution. So there's an opportunity for all of us to be very keen on asking customers, by the way, how did you learn about us? Where did you learn about us? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Are you referred by a customer? And have a Google sheet or a form where the person selling normally records this information. They record. And I have gotten this question from top brands asking, oh, we do a lot of online campaigns, but we are struggling with the attribution. We are struggling to know the ROI of what we are doing. The truth is, you may track clicks, shares, comments, but sometimes tracking digital metrics may not be 100% accurate. The only ultimate way of knowing how a customer learned about you is to ask them, interact with them. How are you? How was your day? How did you learn about us? Oh, how is the economy? How do you feel? Have you ever asked your customer, how do you feel? How are you feeling as a human being? Because a customer is a human being. They have a name, they have a location, they have a place where they live. Rosalind, any feedback? Maybe you can unmute yourself. I can see Rosalind. I have taken a screenshot here to show you the value of advertising. Advertising accelerates growth. This is a company, I don't want to mention the company. You can see from March 1st up to March 13, they were creating content, but they were not advertising. The day they started advertising on March 13, there was a spike in the people reached, the followers they got, and the engagement that they were able to receive. The people reached increased by more than 4,000%. The number of followers grew more than 414%. Engagement increased by more than 1,500%. So this is, by the way, this is an ad. This is a screenshot from a campaign that was done on Facebook and Instagram. And this tells you the value of advertising. You can grow organically, which is okay, but you can accelerate growth if you advertise. If you advertise on Instagram, if you advertise on Facebook, if you advertise on Google, if you advertise on the channel that you have found is resonating with your audience well. We also have, I've given an example, this is just an example. We talked about responsibilities. Who is in charge of what in your digital marketing? Who is optimizing the website? Who is managing social media? Who is the writer? Who is the videographer? Who will do the designs? So you need to be very keen and very specific and very clear on who is doing what. So that's just an example of responsibilities. When you're doing digital marketing, you have to have clarity. Who is doing what, and are they clear on what the goals you expect them to deliver? On the side of planning, if you don't plan, nothing happens. Nature takes its own course. If you don't plan, nothing happens. If you don't plan, your business collapses. If you plan and you coordinate well, you will get success. So have a plan. Be very clear on when will it be done, what will be done, how will it be done, and who is responsible. And you have to hold someone accountable. You have to hold someone accountable by asking them, we agreed this will be done on 21st. Why has it not been done? Why has it not been done? Why has it not been done the way I instructed it? I would like to tell you something of a brand that I don't want to mention because they are very reputable brand. They invited me as an expert to audit what they are doing and do a training for them. They told me, oh, we have an agency. We normally give them money. Last month, we gave them 700,000. They spent, we didn't sell even one property, they are in real estate. And I asked them, did you hold them accountable to ask them whether they did it the way you want? Because you have to take leadership. You have to take leadership. Don't say, we have an agency, they spend this money and they gave us nothing. You have to ask them, have you done it the way we want it to be done? You have to hold them accountable so that you can get the value that you expect. You have to take responsibility and control and management and demand more value from the social media person or the consultant or whoever is doing whatever they are doing for you. This is just an example of a budget. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. You may not have this kind of money. It depends on the kind of budget that you have and the kind of content you want to create. So you have to ask yourself, how much money do I want to spend and how will it be spent? So be very clear, be very specific on how you want to spend your money and on which channels, and then ensure it is done in the right way. So you may be asking, Walimu, you have said so many things, but where do I start? The truth is, start from somewhere. You have to start from somewhere. There are those of us who have gone a lot in digital marketing. They have an agency or they have an internal team. I would encourage us to invest in their training and development, regular and consistent training and development and accountability meetings. Meet with this team, meet with this person, if not daily, weekly, to ensure they're doing what you want them to do. You have to take ownership and control and leadership. Don't just say, I'm waiting for you to send me a report. Have a conversation with them weekly, if not daily, weekly. If it's not weekly, monthly, so that there is accountability on what is being done and you are getting value for money. But the truth is, you have to start. You have to start from where you are. Start with what you have. Don't say, me, I don't have 50,000 or 100,000. Do you have 10,000? Do you have 15,000? What do you have? Start with what you have and learn on the go. But what is important is the consistency. We need consistency. Consistency is very, very important. So before we go to the Q&A, which we will take some time and even get feedback from you, I had asked us a question, and now this is the time we want to find out whether you, from the training of today, and based on the question we were asking ourselves about Hannah the baker, did you find out what was the problem with this message, or what is the answer to the question she had asked? And I want to read the feedback, because we will randomly choose one person. Of course, there could be a lot of people who will give us the right answer. We'll just choose randomly one person who will get the consultation from Digital for Africa or from myself. I'll do an audit of your brand and what you do and give you feedback in a consultation for free. So Hannah had asked, I need help. I've run a paid ad on Instagram. I spent about 2,000 shillings. The ad ran for 4 days, but got only one sale and 2 inquiries. What am I doing wrong? So do you have an answer to this question? So I will hide my screen because I need to see the answers that you will give before I can choose a winner. I'm reading the answers as they come. I'm looking at different people giving the answers and the kind of questions. Let's see. So remember, there are 2 issues. Let me choose the best. I'm liking the feedback you're giving, and there's a lot of nice feedback, but I'm looking at the one who has given the right answer to the question. Thank you, Joseph. 4 days is a short time, but that's not everything. I want someone who will give me both answers too, because she asked that I say there are 2 problems in that post. Okay, I think I have found the winner who has the right answer. Winnie. Winnie, you will have an opportunity to meet me in person or even online for a consultation with me about your business, because the answer to this question is, I'm going back to sharing my screen. Allow me to share my screen again so that we look at the answer. Because there are a lot of answers and feedback that has come, but I just want to share. I just want to share one. Only one person is getting, of course. So I said there are 2 issues. There are 2 problems. There are 2 issues with Hannah's marketing campaign strategy. Number 1 is the budget. She has 2,000, and of course she only sold 1, and the money was spent, and maybe 1 cake is maybe 300, 200 bob. So there is the issue of budget, and then there is the issue of duration, campaign duration. So those were the 2 issues. That was the answer I was looking for, and Winnie has given me the right answer. And you will have the opportunity to meet me in person. My office is based here in Westlands at Delta Corner, but also you can have an online meeting if you need to meet online. So I'm interested in getting the Q&A. Go to the Q&A. I've seen there are a number of questions which I'll be responding. But before we do that, as I had said, did you get it right? The truth is a budget of 2,000 is too low to get an impact. We recommend 15,000 shillings. Running an ad for 4 days is too short a period on Facebook or Instagram or even Google or whichever channel, because these channels are not human beings. They are pieces of code and they need some time to run. So we recommend 30 days and above for a campaign that has an impact. So that was the answer that I was looking for. And I've chosen Winnie as the winner of today. So the takeaway from today's lesson is this. Because sometimes you can feel overwhelmed. You say, where do I start? What do I do? The truth is, it's not how big your steps are, it's how consistent they are. I have supported many companies here in Kenya, and I can tell you, it's not the one that is too aggressive that is making a lot of success. It is the one that is very consistent, continuous improvement, improving every day, improving every day. You can see the guy who was taking 50, he wanted to say, I will do 50 per day, and he has stuck at 100. The other guy was doing, I'll do 10 per day, and he's almost climbing the ladder. So all of us, the goal is to sell and make money and be profitable, and be sustainable, pay our employees well and pay our bills and all that. But the truth is, if you are consistently doing the right things, and the right things are the things we've talked about today. So I'm keen on the Q&A. What will you start doing that you haven't been doing right? I want to get the questions and I'll give you the feedback right now in this session. But if you are interested in learning more about this training and more training in deeper or getting more support, I provided our website here, digitalforafrica.com, where you can find more information about us. So I'm interested in responding to the questions. So we'll now move to the Q&A sessions to look at the questions that have come in.
Francis, we have a lot of questions coming in and a lot of feedback. Everyone has enjoyed the session.
Do you want to guide me on that? You can ask and then I will respond.
Good. We'll get right into it. Mariam asks, as a fellow digital marketer, my concern is with clients who give up in a few months when they see minimum results, especially social media marketing. It takes time to build and grow, but once it picks the results, are amazing. We need to have
Yes.
patience and lots of consistency online marketing. I believe Mariam is just echoing what you're saying, consistency, consistency, consistency. That's the motto for digital marketing, guys. Yeah. And our next question, where Pius is wondering if you have any case studies based on service delivery as opposed to products based.
I think the case study that I shared from Dawit Insurance, they don't sell a product, they sell services. And as I have said, in the service industry, efficiency is the most important thing. Secondly, having a website gives you a competitive advantage. Thirdly, educating your audience on how your product works or how your service works has a lot of value. Doing webinars like the ones we are doing as an expert or as a service provider, engage me first, teach me first before you ask for my money. Don't just target at my pocket. Build some level of trust. And the way to build trust is to give me an audience, prepare a webinar, or prepare an open day, or, I would want to know the specific service that you're providing, but I think I had a case study on services. Yes.
Good, good. What is social media management and what does a social media manager do?
That's good. Social media management is the whole work of creating content. The banners I showed you that have been done by Optica East Africa. The person who does that work is called a social media manager. Their work is to come up with ideas. Their work is to come up with the strategic direction. Their work is to come up with to choose the right designs, to choose the right photo, to choose the right message, to come up with a content calendar, and to come up with a plan. So that's the work of a social media manager. So there's a lot of work that social media managers do, but we need to invest in their training and support, connect them with the experts. We are available to support young. I personally do a lot of training, even for Kenya Bankers Association, to support small businesses, but also to support individuals or even digital marketers who are coming up. So I'm a mentor. So if you need any mentorship or you have a social media manager who needs support in terms of mentorship and training, you can connect them with me. Next question.
Great. We have a question from Martin on the chat side. How do you convert engagements to actual business?
That's a good question. So you may get a lot of engagement on social media. People are liking, they are commenting, but they are not buying. The truth is, we have seen it even in supermarkets. If you go to a supermarket, a new brand has come in. Do you know how I learned about this product I'm taking? Inaitwa dawa. We learned this from COVID. Dawa, honey, lemon, ginger. Do you know how I learned about it? It was inside the supermarket, and it was being issued, in a small bits, in a small cups. You taste it, and if you like it, go and buy. Give customers a taste of your product. If you're selling a product, there are opportunities. If you're selling a software, for example, you can give someone a trial version. They try for 5 days, they try for 30 days. If they don't like it, they'll tell you. If they like it, they will buy. For example, if you're selling cars, those people who sell cars, or those people who sell dresses, if you want to sell a product, like a car, for example, it's very hard for someone just to give you money. A car is very expensive. The best way to change engagement to real transaction is to give someone a taste. Those who drive cars, they tell you, oh, come to our showroom in Mombasa Road. We'll give you a 1 hour free test drive. So do a test drive. The moment you drive that vehicle and feel how it feels, the stability, the quality, all the features of the car, you will most likely buy. Even those people who sell dresses, jackets or tops or whatever it is, they normally tell us, oh, can you wear this dress? Oh, can you wear this trouser? Fit it in. Just try and use it. That's how to sell something, and even to entice someone, so that they are persuaded to buy. Because if you just show me the product price, I will not buy. Give me a taste, give me a sample, give me a free version, or give me the product. If you go to Safaricom, they sell smartphones, or even Samsung there in their showrooms. They'll tell you, interact with the phone first, touch it, feel it, or give me a virtual experience online. Take me through a virtual experience online where I can see how the product works, or give me a video that shows how the product works before now I can buy it. Because marketing is not a transaction, it's not an event, it is a process. And that process starts from interaction, engagement, and then transaction.
Great. I believe that echoes your statement on interaction brings transaction. That's what we all have to remember.
Yes.
We have a question here on the chat side that asks, is the recommended 15K only for one marketing channel, e.g. can they use Facebook, or can the 15K diversify into other channels, multiple channels?
The truth is, nowadays, Facebook allows you to integrate Facebook and Instagram. So even all the clients we have, we don't run ads on Facebook and then we leave Instagram, or we just run Instagram and we leave Facebook. Facebook and Instagram, it's possible you can integrate the two, so that when you set up one design, like the ad we saw from Optica, with the guy saying, if you cannot see, call us. A guy who was seated in a sofa in a couch somewhere and receiving a call. The truth is, those ads are running on Facebook and Instagram. So it is possible you can connect Facebook and Instagram and put that 15K so that Facebook will concurrently run the ad. It will optimize where, it will put more money to the channel where people are engaging more. If Facebook realizes Facebook is not the best, or people are not resonating with your message on Facebook, they will put that money using artificial intelligence and machine learning systems. They'll optimize the ad to run more on Instagram or the channel where it runs. So you need to integrate, or I can help you. If you reach out to me, I can show you how that is done. But because you didn't answer the question right, maybe Winnie can get an advantage of that, because she'll get a free consultation with me. But I have also been a trainer for Google in Kenya, and Google also recommends a budget of 15,000 will give you something. Run it for 30 days, you'll get some traction. But you put 2,000 on Google, you'll get nothing, and your money will just go.
Great. How does one achieve an effective SEO? A question from Peter.
Question. Peter, that's a good question. The truth is, there's no magic one. There's no magic one. There's no do this and then within a day. There's nothing like that. Even in making money or sales and marketing, there are no miracles. It is all about consistently creating content, blogs, articles that are relevant, that are answering the questions your customers have. As we saw for Jay's Wines, I gave you an example of Jay's Wines. Jay's Wines came to us about in 2020. Their website was not ranking. They had a consultant who was running ads every month and sending an invoice, and they were getting nothing. We told them, now we will change this conversation. Number one, we will redesign the website to make it mobile friendly. Number two, we will ensure the website has rich information. Everything about wines and spirits, you'll find it in the Jay's Wines website. So that's the strategy. And then the other strategy we use, meeting with the client every week. Don't meet with the client 1 month. A lot of things will have dropped off after 30 days. So we meet with Jay's Wines and many of our clients once a week to check what is working, what do we need to change. This has changed. This employee has left. What do we need to do? Which content should we be creating for next week? Planning, strategizing, that kind of a thing. Yes.
Great. Andrew asks, kindly comment about storytelling. Secondly, instead of running one ad for 30 days, how about you create 4 ads that run weekly? Kindly comment on that.
So that's a good question. The truth is, our time is limited, so we cannot create an ad from the beginning all the way to the end. So if you need help, you can reach out to me. I can guide you how to create an ad from the beginning all the way to the end. But the truth is, even when we say we spend 15,000 ads, we are not saying we create one ad. In fact, we discourage clients from creating one banner. Our research at Digital for Africa shows if a company creates 4 banners or 4 videos or 4 media types, they are more likely to find more engagement and sell more compared to a company which will just do one banner. In advertising, we say someone needs to see your ad at least 7 times before they can make a purchase. So even when you say run your ad for 30 days with a budget of 15,000, we are not saying you just do one banner. That one banner will take you nowhere. There could be 4 banners. We call them carousels. Carousels. A carousel is multiple banners or multiple videos within one ad. So in other words, you go to Facebook, you see an ad from one company, but the first one is a product. The second one is a testimonial. The third one is how the product works. The fifth one, or there is a sequence. So there is a narrative, there is a story around it. So we are not saying you just create one banner and get a lot of sale. Even if you put a lot of money, you will not get traction. You need to have multiple ad sets, but the campaign should run in a considerable amount of time. As I said, we recommend 30 days to 3 months so that you can get more impact. But in terms of storytelling, as I have said, did you know that marketing is all about storytelling? A lot of people will tell you, oh, marketing is about selling, selling, selling. The truth is, every human being feels bad when they are being sold to. If you go to YouTube and you see an annoying ad telling you, buy this, buy this, you feel bad about it. But if you go to YouTube and you see a company talking about what we are doing in communities in Kenya to support the vulnerable, oh, you'll say, wow, let me watch that documentary or let me watch that video. You pay attention to a story. And now when you have captured your attention, they can be able to, in a subtle way, sell themselves in the process. So storytelling is a detailed topic, but it is the best way. Even the best ads, they are normally a story. There's a story. There is a struggle, there's a climax, then there is an end. Yes.
Great. Zara asks, what's the difference between aggressive and consistent?
That's good. I think you need to have a balance of being aggressive and being consistent. Of course, consistency is what we are preaching today. But the truth is, there is also what you call aggressive marketing, which is annoying, where you get a message from Safaricom 4 times telling you about Fuliza. You feel, Safaricom, I already know about Fuliza. Why can't you just even send 1 message a week? 4 messages is too much. So that is too aggressive. I would go for consistency. You want to remain on top of mind of the customer. Even as we have done campaigns for companies, SMS campaigns, email campaigns, and we realize when you do too much aggressive messages, like you're pushing so many messages to the client, they block you, they unsubscribe, they mute you, that kind of a thing. But if you do it consistently, if it's SMS campaign, if it's email campaign, for example, instead of sending 4 emails a week, you can send 1 email in a month. Another month, you send another email. Unless it's a transaction where someone has to get a notification via email. But if it's an email campaign and you're sending every 2-3 days, there's an email, I just block you and send you to the spam folder. So even the rate of people blocking you and muting you is increased because of the aggressiveness. So what we need is consistency. You need to be balanced in the sense that you don't want to be forgotten by the customer, but you don't want to spam the customer. There's a difference between spamming and being consistent, because consistent means I am not forgetting you, you are not ignoring me, because business is relationship. We've been with you for the last 5 months. You've never sent me a message and I'm your customer. Send me a message. Remind me about what is new in the market. What are the new products you're selling? And sometimes not even to sell. Sometimes it could be just saying, hi, wish me a birthday. Recently I invest personally in money market funds, and I got a message from Britain, and they were spot on my birthday. It's very hard to get a campaign that's so effective. Someone get your birthday right, especially companies. Your friend can get your birthday right, but companies, they are very poor because of poor data management processes. The quality of data is not accurate, it's not complete. So they send you a message, the birthday is wrong, the date is wrong, the first name is wrong. But in this instance, Britam got it right. They got the dates right. They got everything right. And I felt, wow, even my family, they have not even remembered my birthday, but Britam has remembered it. So I still remember about that. That's a kind of message we want. Instead of sending a customer so many messages at the same time, you'll just go and block them by Truecaller or even directly on the technology that you're using. Yes.
Great. We have an anonymous here asking, how do you handle negative feedback online?
That's a very good question, anonymous attendee. I would like to tell you that I'd like to tell you a story of a small company or one startup. I used to work at KCB as a digital marketing expert. When I left and started Digital for Africa, my first client was referred by an employee of KCB. Her name, I don't want to mention her name, but the truth is, she came to me, she was selling pizza, and she was selling it here in Westlands. At Ngara, actually, specifically Ngara. She had a shop there, a house, a residential house, which she converted into a shop. So there was a kitchen and everything, you know. And when we started creating ads for her, she started getting negative feedback about the quality of the product. Oh, hii pizza yako imeoza. Oh, hii pizza yako inanuka, you know. She told me, Francis, immediately go to Facebook and block that customer. I told her, my friend, that's not how social media works. The best way you do, if you get negative backlash, go on that specific social media platform and tell the customer, we apologize that we didn't meet your expectations, and we would like to resolve this matter with you privately. Provide a mobile number, provide an email address that that customer can call you, and now take them away from social media. Even at KCB, when I used to be a consultant for KCB, I used to do a lot of training to the customer experience team, the contact center team. And you can be sure at the bank, the biggest problem we have is complaints when systems are down. So, and training is training, you know, we need to understand the value of, you know, taking a customer away from social media and resolving it away from social media. But going to social media and apologizing to the customer. Don't admit liability. Don't say, I admit that I did this. You just say, we apologize, we didn't meet your expectations. Here is a way we wish to resolve this matter, but in a private way, in a DM, in an inbox, via a call, via video call, via physical meeting, and that kind of thing.
Great. On the chat side, we have Sydney asking, what do you need to have up and running before launching the business? He's asking for any ideas or tips before launching your business.
I think you need to know your customer in a very detailed way, to a level you know their challenges, their feelings, their frustrations. You must know the markets you're going into, the gaps in that market. So you must be seeing an opportunity. Of course, you need a product. Definitely, you need a product. You need a product or a service for that matter. But nowadays, to be honest, I didn't get the name of the person. But the truth is, what's the name of the person? Yeah?
Sydney.
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 Yes.
Sorry, I'm maybe getting the name wrongly. But the truth is, nowadays, you don't have to have a physical shop. It's very expensive to set up a new shop, for example, and you don't know whether customers will buy. You could just start with a Facebook or a Google My Business, or you could start with an Instagram account. But you need to have a product, and you have to have a deep understanding of the customer more than everybody in that market. You must have seen the gap, you know the opportunity. Maybe the opportunity is the price. It could also be the quality. It could also be the speed. It could also be the sourcing of the product or the raw materials. Could be somewhere. It could be, maybe everyone is getting the products from China, but you are getting it from Turkey, but of higher quality. So there must be something that you have seen. There must be an opportunity you've seen, what you call unique selling point. That is what you need. Of course, you need a product, but you don't need a physical place. Initially, once you see there is traction, then you can invest in other assets like a shop and that kind of a thing, or even hiring. So don't be very aggressive. Just go step by step.
Great. Ranjit asks, what's the difference between copywriter and social media manager?
That's a good question. A copywriter, in an ideal one, like in Europe and the US, where they have unlimited budgets, they normally have very granular tasks. There's a copywriter. The work of a copywriter is to write copy, the message. The copy could be the message that goes into that ad, could be the copy that goes to the website, could be the copy that will go via an email, or the message or the text that will go via SMS in an ideal world. But in Africa, in Kenya, where we live, we are not in a perfect world. Resources are limited. You may find you may need a social media manager who is also very good at copywriting. They are good at writing messages, writing text. They're good at writing. So copywriting is all about writing, but someone who has very good choice of words, language, tone, they're very professional. Have you ever gotten a message from someone and you feel, oh, by the way, you know how to write very well? So that's a copywriter. But in Kenya, we normally mix social media and copywriter. But if you have a budget, you could have specific copywriter and then a social media person, social media manager or something like that. But we are living in an ideal world. We are not living in an ideal world. There may not be unlimited resources. You may not be Safaricom, where they have an agency that has a copywriter, a designer, a videographer, a creative designer, or a creative head of creative. You may not have all those things. So start with what you have. But in terms of this distinction, copywriting is all about writing copy that goes to the ad, that goes to SMS, that goes to email, that goes to the website. But social media management is the entire process of creating content and managing social media, creating reports, and creating a content calendar. Yes.
Great. I'm seeing a number of questions on real estate. Ephraim asks, what makes real estate difficult to sell? What are the best digital platforms to sell?
Wow, that's a very good question. I have a lot of experience in real estate selling. We have a number of clients. I don't want to mention them. The truth is, real estate, because of costs and competition. We have noted, for example, the Chinese, the Chinese investors have distorted the pricing of real estate in Kenya. So everything is overpriced in terms of value. You find a 2-bedroom house going for 11 million. How many Kenyans who are earning a salary can afford to pay 11 million for a 2-bedroom house? So getting such a buyer, you have to, you have to scratch your head. So the truth is price, competition, location, all these factors make and also distortion of the market, the reality of markets. If you could reach out to KBA, they can give you a lot of insights on the market pricing in real estate. But also, if you reach out to me, I have a lot of data and insights on real estate, which segments are doing well, where is the opportunity. There are a lot of opportunities, for example, in real estate specifically. There are opportunities for low housing, good opportunity. There's a lot of traction. There are a lot of Kenyans, someone who is earning 100,000, 150,000. They want to buy a house. They may not afford the 11 million 2-bedroom house, but they can afford a 4.5 million house, or they can afford a plot or land and build in the long term. So you can reach out to me for specific data on real estate. But the truth is, real estate is very, very hard to sell because you need to build a lot of trust with the customer before they can give you that 11 million for a 2-bedroom house. Yes.
Right. Mashoka asks, can you define strategic marketing?
What we have learned today is strategic marketing, where you define goals, you define target audience, you define who is, you define all the checklists we've looked at. That structure I provided in my screenshot. All those things we have looked at. There were about 8 things that we have looked at today. You have goals, you have target audience, you have channels, you have a story, you have some content, you have a team, you have responsibilities, you have a plan, you have a budget. That is strategic marketing.
Great. We have Joseph asking, how can a carpenter then do free engagements?
So a carpenter.
Yeah.
So for a carpenter, it's a very labor kind of a business. If you're selling yourself as a carpenter, the best way is to showcase your work. You can showcase your work through photos or through videos, but also to build more trust, you can go further and say, well, if I reach out to you and say I'm interested because of that house you build in this place, or I really like the designs that you shared for that house you're building in Kileleshu or wherever, or in Kariobangi or Dandora, I really like what you shared on WhatsApp. I'm interested. Interested does not mean I want to give you money. You have to persuade me further than that. The best way to do that is, if you find this a potential ideal client, they have the willingness to spend the money, and they are your ideal customer, the best way is now to take it to another level. Tell them, I can come to your place and give you a free service. Let me give you an example. I was invited by Nation Media. Before Nation Media became my customer or our client, they told me, Francis, we have heard you are one of the top experts in Kenya and digital, but we don't know you. We just got that information from one of our employees here at Nation Media. But for us to give you something long-term, we need you to give us something. So they told us, give us a free speech. I said, I will show up. I'll do a free training. If your sales team like me, then we will do business. That's how I did it. So ask yourself, what is this service that you're providing that you can give part of it? You're not giving them everything. Unawapea ile inaitwa kionjo, like a teaser, or like, something to taste before you give them the real meal. If you are building a website, for example, instead of building the entire website, you can tell someone, I'll build for you the homepage. I'll build for you the homepage. I show you. If you like it, then we can do business. So that's how to build trust and bring conversions. Yes.
Good. Marshall asks, would you say that emotional involvement / intelligence is critical in digital marketing?
100%. People make emotional decisions, whether we are voting, whether we are making purchases. We make emotional decisions and then we rationalize it using logic. For example, research has come across research that shows if you go to a supermarket and you're very, very hungry, you are likely to spend more money compared to if you went to the supermarket while you are full. So because human beings are not rational, we say we are rational. Oh, me, I'm very strategic in my sales, in my buying habits. I don't make random impromptu purchases. But the truth is, you go to a place, you find a nice chair or a nice something and say, oh, how much is it? And then you buy. So we are not rational as we claim to be as humans. We are very emotional. So understanding people is the key thing in marketing and communications.
Good. Azra asks, as a fashion designer, what would you suggest preferred channels? What would you suggest preferred channels to market my brand?
Instagram. Start with Instagram. Start recording videos, start taking photos and sharing them, showing people using your fashion designs. Instead of telling us, oh, I'm a fashion designer, buy from me. Why should I buy from you? You need to give me a reason. Is there a giveaway I can get? Or show me, don't tell me. Yeah, so Instagram, very good for that. But even Facebook, there are a lot of people who say Facebook doesn't work, but as I've demonstrated with Optica East Africa, they're doing a lot of sales, a lot of traffic coming from Facebook. Even us, all the clients we have, they get a lot of value from Facebook. There may be a decline in terms of how much time people are spending on Facebook, but it is not dead.
Speaking of Facebook, Tumaini asks, I have a Facebook page where I sell online. How can I drive digital traffic to my site immediately?
That's a good question. Create an ad and offer people an incentive. Give people an incentive and tell them, for you to get this incentive, go to my website to fill a certain form. So they'll go to the website, fill a form because they want to get the incentive. So the goal, the objective of your Facebook ad will be to go to the website to get that incentive. But you must give me the offer. Remember for Optica, we saw they gave us an offer of 20% for if you've never bought glasses, get 20% offer, get a free test, and then get the 20%. So give me a reason, and the reason here is the offer, the giveaway you're offering will make me to click so that I go to the website. So that is the best way.
Good, good. Vincent asks, kindly, what strategy can we use for products with low price range, such as roasted groundnuts, peanut butter, and roasted sesame seeds? As a follow-up, he also asks, kindly also tell us the preferred channels for such products.
From my experience, I've seen those are products that really require physical interaction with customers, especially if you're targeting, if you're selling like peanuts, and it is costing 10 bob or 100 bob or 200 bob. I have seen, and I'm telling you the truth, we have to be realistic. If you want to buy a product of 200 shillings, why would you buy it online? There must be a very, very strong reason why you can buy it online. Most likely, you'll buy it from your next shop or from the supermarket. You know, so there are products that really require a physical presence, a physical interaction with a customer before someone can buy. There are products that are, and I have maybe I may not have shown it here, but I have whoever has asked that question, just reach out to me. I will show you the data from a company that has analyzed the best products to sell online, and they show the best products to sell online are electronics, because if it is a laptop, as long as, let's say it is Lenovo, you love Lenovo, it's genuine, Lenovo ThinkPad, the price is okay, you don't have a problem because Vita has a warranty, you'll just buy it. But if you tell someone to buy a trouser online, you have to ask yourself, how will they fit? They may fit it and then the sizes. Or bras, you're selling bras. We have a client who sells bras online here at Sari Center. But a lot of their sales, so the platform online, the Instagram, is for creating awareness and driving traffic to the shop. The actual shop happens physically. And also the sale also happens because of returning customers who already have tested their sizes, have been measured. And so you know this will fit, you know, you've been, that's the issue. When it comes to selling some products, you need guidance. You can reach out to me, I can guide you, but of course, not free, you are not winning. But the truth is there are products that are very sensitive, you can't sell it online. There are products that are very sensitive, that you can't sell them online, like if you're selling underwears, bras, or something that someone needs to fit. You know, because ask yourself, if someone is in Karen and you are here in Westlands and you're selling them a bra or you're selling them a trouser, you need a cab or you need a rider to deliver it to Karen. What is the cost of taking that product to Karen, going and coming back? They go there, they realize, oh, the size is not, this is not fitting me. So it has to be returned and then it has to be taken back again. So who will meet that cost? So those are the dynamics, and you really need to be very strategic when you make such a decision. What are you selling online? Selling online can help you build awareness, but for some products, the transaction will happen at the retail physical shop.
Great. Winnie asks, she's a co-founder of a nonprofit here in Kenya. So she's asking, do you have any sessions tailored for nonprofits?
Yes, we have.
Especially on getting services.
Yeah, we have clients
in
non-profits. And Winnie, I can tell you, once you meet me, I'll guide you. Did you know that Google gives you more than 40,000, actually 10,000 US dollars to non-profits? Of course, there is an application process, but there's a lot of money available on for free from Facebook and Twitter and even Instagram, but people don't know about it. I'll share a link on Twitter so that you see what I'm talking about. Google gives you, as a non-profit, free advertising on Google, you know, and the budget is very good. You know, you get a lot of money. I just want to confirm the figure, but it is true, Winnie, there is that. Once you reach out to me, I'll let you know.
Good. As we're running out of time, but we'll take a few more questions. Raki asks, if it's our first time, how do we select and outsource a suitable social media management company?
That's a very good question. You need to tell them, before I can give you a long-term contract, other than showing me what you have done in my industry, not just what you have done in another industry, show me what you've done in my industry. For example, let's say you are in real estate. Show me the clients you have been able to support in real estate. That's the first question. The second one is, can we have a short-term trial period for me to have a feel of your service and your efficiency before we can have a long-term relationship of 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. So that is the best way to do it. So look for an agency. You can find them online. There are so many agencies, but if you're looking for an agency, I work in the agency world and I have a lot of contacts. I have also a lot of students I've trained in digital marketing in a lot of depth, 6 months, 3 months. So they are experienced, they are available, they are freelancers, they are cheap, they are sustainable, that kind of a thing. So look for someone who has done something in your industry. You may have sold a car, but you've never sold a house. Selling a car and a house are two different things. So that's the first thing, but also there's a second thing I've said, have a moment of, it's not free, but a moment for trying. Let's try it for 1 month before we do a long-term partnership.
Good.
Yes.
Mzee asks, what platform would you recommend for a company in renewable energy? And what's the best way to qualify the engagement so that you don't waste time on clients that don't buy, so as to increase conversion rates?
Renewable energy is a very attractive market. Rosaline from KBA is here, and KBA does a lot of green energy workshops and training. I would encourage you to go for events. KBA had an event today on green energy. Look for green energy events, webinars, physical events. Now that COVID is, we're living with COVID. So look for events where you can meet people. Look for events where you can join online webinars, ask questions, meet the experts. KBA does a lot of green energy conversation, and Rose is here. She can guide you on the next green energy, There's a lot of money coming from the US, coming to Africa because of green energy investments. I have even some friends who have left Kenya and have gone to the US to invest in green energy. But also we have had the new administration. They are investing in green energy solutions. So there's a lot of money in green energy. Maybe you can reach out to me. I can give you more specific guidance.
Good. We will take a question from Shaheen. Shaheen owns a stained glass studio. She says it's a niche market and no competition, but people don't pay the price. How can I get people to become aware of this expensive product?
When you are trying to sell a product and people are not willing to pay for the price, maybe you're targeting the wrong people. If you're selling a house of 11 million, just an example, and you're targeting someone who earns 20,000, 50,000, how will they service that loan? How will they pay that house? So in my view, when I see a marketing campaign is not working well, I normally look at the target audience. Who are we targeting? Perhaps you may need to change the target audience or change how you communicate and how you sell to them. Yes.
Good. One last question. With so much skepticism about online fraud, how do you get far clients to pay before or believe you are legit, especially if you're selling high capital items like solar packages? Solar
panels, right? Solar
yes.
packages.
This is in regards to the renewable energy question.
So the truth is there's a lot of fraud online, but the role of a marketer, the role of a salesperson is to build trust with customers. The content we said we need to create, the purpose of that content is to build and earn the trust of the customer. If you are in marketing, your work is to build trust, to reduce that skepticism and those, because there will always be objections in every conversation you have with a customer. Even if you're selling something as sweet and something as good, and something as nice as this DAO from Pector, there's a lot of skepticism. Someone say, "Oh, this is new. I've never heard about them." As a salesperson, as a marketing person, you have to be ready to handle every objection that you get from a customer. Yeah, but
Good.
in terms of,
Sorry, Francis, if you may continue.
Yeah, but in terms of selling premium products in the green energy space, you may reach out to me for specific guidance and strategies on that.
Good. We have come to our time. Francis, thank you very much. A lot of people are asking for your contacts. I believe it's on the slides. We will share those after this presentation. We will share the presentations and the recordings to everyone who participated, and to those who are not able to attend, we'll also get the recordings as well. Thank you, everyone.
Much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a lovely afternoon, guys. We'll see you next week for the third module, which will be on sales management.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Bye.